Hello, YouTube. I want to make a quick video about coterminal angles. Okay, what are coterminal angles? Coterminal angles are angles that end on the same terminal ray. So let's get into a little bit of vocabulary here. When we measure angles, we start on the positive side of the x-axis. We call this our standard position. Okay, and when we measure positive angles, we measure counterclockwise. And when we measure negative angles, we measure clockwise. Okay? Along our standard position, we call this our initial ray. And where the angle stops measuring, we call that our terminal ray. So if I'm looking at this angle in red, my terminal ray lies in quadrant 2, and my initial ray is in the standard position. Okay? So let's talk about coterminal angles, that is, angles that end at the same terminal ray. So first we're going to talk about degrees. Now to find a coterminal angle, it's very simple. You start with an angle. So we're going to start with an angle, let's say 30 degrees. So we'll make an angle for 30 degrees. 30 degrees is right about here. I will label that 30 degrees. Now, if I want a coterminal angle with 30 degrees, all I have to do, if you look over here, is theta plus or minus 360 degrees. Okay? Now, n represents the number of rotations. So I could put any number in there and we could keep getting coterminal angles all day long. Okay? So if I want a positive coterminal angle, I'm going to add 360 to 30. So if I add 360 to 30, I will get 390. So 390 degrees is coterminal with 30. And I'll show you with this purple ray right here. If I start in the standard position and I measure 90, 180, 270, all the way back around to 360, and then I go 30 more to 390, sure enough, I end up coterminal with 30 degrees. So therefore, they are coterminal. Now, if I wanted to find a negative angle, I would just simply subtract 360. So if I take 30 minus 360, I get negative 330. Negative 330. So all three of these are coterminal. Now I'm going to go back and use my purple ray here. Now if I measure negative 330, then I will go in a clockwise direction, negative 90, negative 180, negative 270, negative 330. So not quite all the way back around to zero. I end up coterminal with the other angles. It's that simple. Okay? Now, let's use n here in our formula. Pull up my calculator. If I say 360 times 5, that's 5 circles, and I add that to 30 degrees, then 1830 degrees is coterminal as well. So I could go ahead and put that up there. 1830 degrees will end at the same terminal ray right here with the other three. So what I did was I plugged in a 5 for n, I multiplied that by 360, and then I added that to theta, which is my original angle, which is 30 degrees. And those are coterminal angles in degrees. Now let's look at that in radians in terms of pi. So if you look back at our formula, it's just theta plus or minus 2 pi n. Okay? So let's start with an angle, and we will start with 7 pi over 6. 7 pi over 6 is in quadrant 3. It's about right there. Okay? So if we want to find a coterminal angle with 7 pi over 6, we can do so by just adding 2 pi. So I'm going to show you how to do that up here. We start with 7 pi over 6. And if I want to add, if I want a positive angle, if I want to add 2 pi, I'm going to think of 2 pi as sixes. So that is 12 pi over 6. And what do I get? 19 pi over 6. So 19 pi over 6 is coterminal with 7 pi over 6 because they end at the same ray. Now I can show that with my purple ray right here. So if I go 19 pi over 6, that is 180. Sorry, we're talking about radians here. 3 pi over 2. If I go a full circle 2 pi, I've gone 12 pi over 6. So I have to go another 7 pi over 6 past 2 pi, which brings me to 19 pi over 6. And as you can see, they are coterminal. Now let's find a negative coterminal angle with 7 pi over 6. So this time I'm going to take 7 pi over 6 and I'm going to subtract 2 pi. So I'm going to subtract 12 pi over 6. Okay, get a common denominator, make this simple. 7 minus 12 is negative 5 pi over 6. So sure enough, negative 5 pi over 6 is coterminal with 19 pi over 6 and 7 pi over 6. So let's take a look at that. Let's bring our ray back around here. I go in a negative direction, right? Clockwise. 5 pi over 6 is just short pi over 6 of pi. Okay, so right here. So there's negative pi over 6. And as you can see, it is coterminal. And you could find coterminal angles all day by just multiplying 2 pi by n. So you could just stick any number in there and you could come up with another coterminal. So if you're asked for a positive, you want to add 2 pi. If you're asked for a negative, you want to subtract. I hope this clarifies coterminal angles, and I will see you next time.